Welcome back to Rod and Russ Garage. It's been a minute since I've been out here getting anything of consequence done. Been pretty busy in life, but I have managed to squeak out a few minutes to do things like this. And this. And even some of this. Boring stuff that nobody really wants to see, but essential nonetheless. Got to get those headers painted. You saw me cleaning all the factory glue off of the windage tray. I'll get to that in a minute. And, I've had a little bit of time to think about this 440 engine that I was just going to cram in here and will it run. So I'm going to get into that here in just a second, and I'll explain what's going on this week. So stick around. Let's get some stuff done. I don't know if you can see it from there, but this piece of casting flash has driven me crazy for months. So I kind of got started tearing things off before I really explained why I'm tearing things off. So like I said, I've had a little bit of time to think. And one of the things that's been kind of on the back of my mind is this timing set in here. When I had the pan off, it had a little bit of flop in it. Didn't seem terrible. But the more I thought about it, I'm worried this 1975 440 has maybe nylon on the gears, the teeth. And I don't want to leave that in there. So I need to order a new timing chain set. So I'm going to pull all this off and swap that out. And, I'll get a chance to see maybe it doesn't have the nylon teeth. I don't know, but I'm not taking that chance of leaving that garbage in there. It'll start coming apart eventually. So the other thing is you probably saw the truck 440 that this is, the RV. The lower rad hose came off on this passenger side. Well, all the research I've done for the correct radiators for a 1969 B-body Charger, they come off the passenger side. And I've seen some pictures of them. And sure enough, when I looked up radiators to buy, the vast majority had passenger side lower and driver's side. Driver's side lower, passenger side upper. I got that backwards, sorry. But I want to buy a good radiator for this. Doesn't necessarily have to look factory, but almost every option, if you look up, 69B body, blah, 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 it's going to have the upper right passenger and lower driver. So I ordered a new water pump housing. It's also aluminum, so it'll be a little bit lighter than the boat anchor I took off of here. Plus, I got to get in here to check this timing chain anyway. And so, again, you also saw in a much earlier video, I put this oil pan on for to fit in the B body, and I decided to leave out the windage tray because I was like, this engine's not going to be in there very long. I'm going to go ahead and drop this pan again and go ahead and put it back in because it's entirely possible that this 7.5, compression pig could live in that car for a year or two just to get me in and out of the garage, maybe putt around town some. If it runs okay, I'm going to leave it in there for a little while I get some other things taken care of. So it's smart to go ahead and just put it back in. Best place to keep it. I lose a gasket, maybe, probably. So we'll get into that. And the other thing, the final thing, is I don't want this on here. I went ahead and ordered an Edelbrock aluminum intake, and we'll swap that out and take a look inside of the pan and the valley. See what we got. Oh, and I got to get another stud out over here. Great. Get started. All right, let's see what's behind door number 1. See if I can get this off of here without showing. All right, came right off. Got the crank blocked in the back to keep it from spinning. And now, got the washer off. Let's see about this. All right. I lack the skill to do this with my left hand, so let's try it with my right hand. You can tell I don't do this ever. Get plenty of threads in there. Try and get it kind of centered here. Looks pretty good. All right. Slowly pull this thing off of here. There we go. Pretty easy. You know what I probably don't have? Is a new seal for this. Daggone it. I gotta order one of those. I'm waiting on all the other stuff anyway, so might as well. Gonna wait a little longer. Alright, let's see how this thing looks. Ooh, pretty cracked up. Probably shouldn't reuse this, but I'm gonna. Yeah, it's got some cracking on it. It's probably time for a new damper. Daggone. Well, I don't know. We'll see. I've reused them before. No groove where the seal is. That's good. All right. Now let's get this pan off of here. Let me get some new tools. Some different tools. Now, like I said, I am going to take this whole oil pan back off and go ahead and, what size are you, 9/16? What do I got going on here? That's 5/8, that's why it doesn't fit. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pull the whole oil pan off and put that windage tray back in. Should have done that to begin with, but I'm done. What's going on there? Interesting. switch sizes on me. Didn't know that. These bottom 4 are 9/16, and it moves up to half. So. All right, cool. A couple of different things here. Let's start with this, maybe less damage. Got all these bolts out. Is there one at the dead center? Nope, just the 2 there. All right. It's just on there. Yeah, I'm going to destroy this gasket for the oil pan. I think I got RTV on it anyway. I'm pretty sure I did in the corners there. There we go. Oh yeah. Oh man, that seal is rock hard. Go figure. Huh. Interesting. Does not appear to be a nylon. Has this been changed? Oh, it's a lot of flop there though. Oh yeah, she is stretched. Look at that. That's gotta be every bit of a ½ an inch. She gone. But it's not nylon teeth. That's interesting. They're all there. Looks really clean. Happy with that. Yeah. Yeah. New gasket going on. All right, well, let me get this cleaned up, and then might as well drop the oil pan real quick while I'm doing it. So one thing that's interesting, oh, never mind. I see it right there. There's my little timing mark. And there's the one on the cam. They're offset a little bit. And yeah, they're offset a couple degrees there. And I set, before I popped this off, I set the timing mark up directly with the 0 right there on the cover. So it's probably not, I don't know, the timing is a little froggy there. We'll start over with the new timing chain and sprockets when they get here. Who knows how long that'll take. Okay, so the other thing I'm gonna do is take this intake manifold off and get these bolts soaking to clean them up for reuse on our new intake. I don't think I can get that one. Need an extension. Right back. I broke down and bought an ultrasonic parts cleaner, and first time using it today. Brand new out of the box. Leaks. So I twisted up the little drain valve a little more. I can't tell if it's still leaking a little bit or not, but we'll see. Oh, come on. I don't know what this here bracket is for. Goes right here at number 6, but I don't know. Probably gonna delete it. No idea what it did. Don't know. All right, let me vacuum off the mess I just created. Get these bolts cleaning in my leaky parts washer, so we can reuse these. Back in a little bit. Too noisy on that parts washer to do video in. Get this boat anchor off of here real quick. Seems like that broke it free. Oh, Lord, that thing is heavy. All right, there's a look underneath. Definitely some trash from when I cleaned the engine. Got what I could, obviously. There's a look down inside of the intake manifold, or the intake, I'm sorry, the intake runners on the heads. Definitely some dirt in there. Let's get out the vacuum. Just carboned up. This thing ran really rich. If you go back and look at earlier videos, I got some more vacuuming I can do. Different places, you know, before I pull this pan off and take a look down inside of the valley. Ordered a new pan, and I'm going to try and get all this really cleaned up. Spritz some paint on there and everything, and while I'm here, you know, might as well. So here's the parts cleaner I got on Black Friday, I think. So I don't know, I set it to 45 degrees, and you know, it's loud. You just hit the minutes up and then hit time and it starts. But it was leaking here out of this valve, and obviously you can see the valve is now, you know, 15-20 degrees up because I just went ahead and tightened it down, and I was seeing water under there, but it's magically stopped leaking. But do I trust it? I don't know. I guess I could pull that valve off. Maybe it's just some pipe dope or something would help do that. I have heard that these die after a year. I don't know. I'm going to give it a shot. I thought it was bigger, but it's all the bigger it is, and that's all that fits in there. But I'll show you. It does a pretty decent job. I got some other bolts in there right now. Real heavy stuff like on the bottom of this is going to have to be scraped off, and I can put it back through, but obviously it's not going to remove rust. And I also don't have a very sorry about that. I don't have a very potent mixture in here, well, because I ran out of that purple cleaner that I have. I only had about, I don't know, a third of the gallon, and so I topped it up with water. So maybe the other 2/3 basically warm water. This heats it anyway. I don't know how to turn it off. I guess, oh wait, there's a rocker. There we go. All right, she's off. And I got some bolts in there, so let me show you. All right, now over at the other bench, and this is how it comes out. Again, not going to remove rust, but these are clean. Maybe a tiny bit of wire brushing would go a long way, but it did take some of the paint off. But they're a whole lot cleaner than they were. Definitely not greasy. Not bad. Certainly beats, you know, soaking them in lacquer thinner and standing there with a, you know, little toothbrush, you know, wire brush, and trying to get them clean. It definitely something I think I'll use a lot now. Might as well. It's a good, you know, start with getting things clean and ready to go back on. All right, now I got to run back up to Wally World, and I do want to get more of that purple cleaner. What's it called? It's a purple jug. It's super clean, something like that. But I got to get a bunch of brake clean too, because cleaning the gasket off of the oil pan and everything, I just want to spritz everything down with brake clean. I'm going to need a bunch of that when I get inside of here and really start deep cleaning. So I'll be back in a little while, and not a whole lot more I could do, just taking things apart right now. I got to wait for all those parts to show up. I guess some of the things I could do is, yeah, I can put the seal in the timing chain cover. I could sand that thing down as well, get it ready to be painted. I could sand down the balancer. Still debating. I want to see how much one costs. Cast crank engine, so it's got, you know, it's externally balanced. If they're not crazy expensive, maybe I'll just buy another one while I'm here. But I'm tired of spending money on this thing. Man, everything is so freaking expensive these days. And it's just expensive to build a big block. And I'm telling you, that's why I'm not going into the internals. I don't even want to take the heads off and see that, oh man, I need to take this and get it, you know, it's probably going to need bored out. I'm guessing 10 at least over. Probably more. Probably got a huge ring ridge. There's no way to bring the compression up in this engine without basically new pistons in one form or the other, and some machine work, maybe to the heads, you know, deck the engine, whatever. I don't know. I'm not a machinist, but I know that this is a low compression engine, maybe 7.5, maybe on a good day. But I know one thing, it's a torque monster. Even as it sits, they put them in trucks, RVs, everything. So it's going back in with the same truck cam, heads, everything, and I'm just going to make sure that the timing chain is good and slide it back together, throw it in the car, and we're going to do burnouts with it just fine. The one wheel peel and the old peg leg here. So a quick public service announcement. Don't go to Walmart on the Tuesday before Christmas at 2 o'clock in the afternoon to get stuff out of the automotive section. Just don't do it. Not worth it. Crazy. Anyhow, now I'm wasting time with parts cleaners. Let me show you what's going on here. I pulled the valve off and there's debris in there, and this was all over the end of the little plastic pipe nipple. This is some kind of, I would guess at some point, liquid style sealant that they must have put onto these here threads. Don't know if you can see the remnants of it, but I've been sitting here carving it away with my pocket knife, and I'm going to put some Teflon on it after I get some air on it to dry it off real good. And I'm thinking that's where it was leaking. Yeah, probably pretty good bet. I don't know if this stuff is going to withstand seals and lubricates threaded connections on metal and plastic. I don't know if T+2 Teflon enriched sealant is going to withstand this parts cleaner. We'll find out. If this doesn't do it, back it goes to China. Okay, back to this thing now. So you can see, maybe in this light, the marks are lined up. This, again, still haven't taken off the factory chain yet. It's on the compression stroke. I've verified that. On the number 1 cylinder, both valves are closed. Piston is at the top of the cylinder. So that kind of jives. But what I'm curious about is normally what I've seen is like the rotor button on the distributor would then point towards the number 1 cylinder. But what I'm seeing is it's pointing more towards number 6. I don't know, debatable, maybe 2. Or I'm sorry, 3. Wait, all right, I'm all messed up. Normally it point towards number 1, but it's pointing towards like 3 or 5 maybe. I don't know. But maybe it's off and they just adjusted the timing accordingly, you know, moving this around here. So I don't know, we'll figure it out when we get it back on and get her timed up, but I want to kind of know approximately where I'm at. Anyway, this is all going to come out. I got to clean it really good. Might replace the distributor. Don't know if this one's going to work well or not. But also I'm going to pre-lubricate once I get everything buttoned back up by rolling the engine over and doing my, you know, lube tool down in there to the oil pump. Make sure that that's all working good and we're getting oil up top and everything. All right, let's go ahead and pull this cover off and just take a look down inside of there. It's probably going to be as clean as the rest of the engine. Fingers crossed. On the front here, if you can see it, I don't know what that does. It might have been a bolt through for a bracket for the air conditioner that was on this engine. That's what I think it is. Again, probably going to be deleted. One thing I am missing is the return spring bracket. I have no idea where that is. So, and we'll get all this cleaned up in our sonic cleaner once that Teflon dries. Now, interesting. Well, that one had a smaller washer on it. Maybe they just didn't care. I don't know. And one of the back ones doesn't even have a washer on it. All interesting stuff. I like looking at how the factory did it. And get this stuff out of the way. A surviving plug wire holder. Goes right here. Yep. All right. We'll remember that. So I can do this without getting a ton of trash down in here. A little bit of gunk. Man, the one I'm getting plugs off these heat risers. They are full of trash. A little oily. Seemed like it was sealed on there. All right, you guys want to see what it looks like up in there? So there's your first look. My first look as well. Some of this just fell down in from up here where that heat crossover nonsense is. But that's a puddle of gunk. It just gets trapped there, so sludge is going to stay. The oil pump drive shaft, those gears look good. I mean, the cam looks fine. I don't see anything crazy. Seems like about a same wear pattern on every lobe. And there's your number one, right? So it just came off of, what would that be, the intake. So it's at top dead center, ready for combustion. So we are at top dead center. Doesn't look too bad in there though. Residual oil. And so now while we got it open, I can clean a little bit of this stuff up, get this really clean up here, and I can even, you know, get some oil down on the cam to make sure when this thing first spins, oh yeah, those lobes are dry. I'll probably sprinkle some down in the lifters as well. I really should pull the heads, but I know what'll happen if I pull the heads. I'll say nope, because those cylinder walls are going to look like trash, and I'm going to want to go to town on it, and I don't have the money for that. So keep going. Well, folks, I think that's going to do it for this episode, whatever you want to call it, because I got a lot more of this to do. Cleaning and degreasing, some simple stuff. Put some seal. I'll put a seal in the timing chain cover. I need to paint these headers, but I'm waiting on the paint. I have no idea when I'm going to get the parts that I need for this, the new timing chain set, etc. So that'll be, I guess, the next video. Meanwhile, I guess, you know, just keep on cleaning and doing what I'm doing. And not very exciting content. So I'm just going to keep doing this and get it all ready to go. So when the new stuff shows up, I can just hopefully slap it all on here and we'll go from there. Once again, got to remind you, I'm not an engine builder. Never have been, probably never will be, but I like doing this kind of simple stuff. It's fun. I learn a little bit, and you know, if I screw something up, well, so be it. That's how you learn too, I guess. So I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll talk to you real soon. Thanks for watching, and Merry Christmas.